So staying true to your authentic self is sometimes facing the parts that are unauthentic or just not truthful to ourselves. And it tends to be the truth that we don't want to see is the actual truth that can free us. Trying to think if I've got any more to say on that. Or if we just go into maybe some EFT tapping. That was kind of a long spiel for something that wasn't prepared. So EFT tapping, what we might do is we'll do an EFT tapping on authenticity. I'll try and remember what I just said, and we'll do a few rounds on EFT. So I will do a setup statement, and then we'll move into the different points around the body. And when I say something, I'll do a little pause, you just repeat, or you can think it in your head. Even when you think something, you create a sympathetic response. Sympathetic can be a stressful response, so we would just want to release some of that stress, which EFT is awesome at. And so if you're willing to take full responsibility into your own well-being, let's tap along on authenticity. I'm surprised I haven't struggled with that word. Even though I have this struggle with authenticity, there we go, I struggled. I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I struggle with authenticity, and I want to be my authentic self, but I might not know who my true self is. I still deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I don't know who I truly am, and this authentic feeling hasn't quite been true for me lately. I still deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Okay, so we'll start with the top of the head. All this authenticity. All this authenticity. I'm struggling with being authentic. All this authenticity. All this being unauthentic. You know what I'm saying. All this authenticity. All this fear of being my true self. All this fear. I just want to be me. But I'm not sure who's truly me. I'm being unauthentic. I'm not being really me. And I've kind of lost myself along the way. And maybe I've been doing for others. Doing what they think I should do. Letting them define how I live. But am I living authentically? Because if I'm living for others, I'm not really living for myself. it's kind of like a fraudulent life. And that doesn't feel good to say. Because I'm not truly being me. I'm just not being me. And maybe my job defines me. Provides a living. But it doesn't do the living for me. But if I'm not being my authentic self, that living might be a struggle. And it might cause me stress. And it might cause me anger. And I might get to a point in my life where I look back and think, was that my life? Or was it someone else's life? Someone else's expectations? And maybe those people were doing the exact same thing that was told to them. And it's kind of like a cycle. Of unauthentic living. And maybe breaking that cycle and having the freedom to live how I want to live. Means I've got to face some of those fears. Some of those truths. And the truths might be scary. And they might create a great deal of anxiety. And you might think, well, it's just easier to stay where I am. And stay in this discomfort. Stay in this stress. And stay in this room of fire. And tell myself this is fine. But like those flames, the stress of staying in that fire, or that environment, creates a bit of inflammation, a bit of stress. So maybe it's time to get out of those flames. And step into what we truly are. And what truly makes us feel good. And maybe that's the answer. Because if you don't know who you are, then maybe the question you have to ask yourself is, what do I don't deserve? And if those things that you don't deserve make you feel really crappy. And there's things in life that make you feel good. It might be the good stuff that you need. And releasing that baggage. And releasing that crap. And releasing that need to perform for someone else's expectations and live a life that they probably didn't want to live either. So I'm letting go of those beliefs. Holding on to that authentic feeling. That truly good feeling of what I deserve and how I want to live my life. Because when you're living your life authentically, it's kind of like a bonsai tree. It's had wires controlling its life. And once those wires are off, well, say those wires were never on in the first place, you have the freedom to grow. And I am aware of the bonsai thing. I have the freedom to grow how I choose to be. And in this instance, once those binds of expectations are off, this bonsai tree, this tree that has been bound by other people's expectations and our own beliefs, starts to grow in strength, because it's growing with the freedom it wants. So releasing those binds of expectation, of fear, of doubt. Releasing it all. I'm releasing this fear. I'm releasing this fear. I'm releasing this doubt. Releasing this need to please other people. Moving into what I want to do in life. Doing what I choose to do in life. Releasing that stress. Releasing the stress of not knowing ourselves. Releasing those beliefs. Releasing that self-hate for having some of these beliefs. And releasing this doubt. Moving into freedom. Freedom to choose what you want to do in life. Freedom to be as authentic as you want to be to your true self. And I'll be authentic. Moving forward, in body, mind, and soul. And just taking a deep breath. If you happen to have a drink of water or tea in this instance, go for it. So yes, I'm Dion from Eflowtion. That's a little tap and chat on authenticity, or another way of looking at authenticity. I am in no means a professional in these matters. So I just am being authentic in what I'm saying. But as an EFT practitioner, I think it's good to reframe things and look at things at a different perspective, because sometimes we get stuck in our ways of how we want or how we show up in our lives. And if we're not showing up authentically, then life can be a bit of a struggle in that sense. So be kind, be caring with yourself, be nurturing of yourself, give yourself lots of self-love and self-care. But I'm Dion from Eflowtion. Myself and Rebecca offer, my wife Rebecca, offer EFT tapping and soma breath to the world. So if you're interested in having a one-on-one session, exploring if anything resonated, if anything struck a nerve, and you want to explore a bit deeper and free yourself from those beliefs, feel free to have a one-on-one session. Just go to our website or on this Facebook page and book in a session with one of us. So that's it. Have a good night or day, and I'm Dion from Eflowtion, and see you later.